Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. So for these videos in September, I actually decided to split it up into 2 or 3 different parts. It's just too much work to try to edit a 30-minute video. So in this first video, I'm going to show some of the night lighting updates. But first, I'm going to go through some commentary. And also, I don't normally do this, but I'm going to talk about some criticism that we've gotten specifically on the 787. So let's get started with that. It's completely understandable with the 787. People are wondering, well, why are we announcing our third project? We haven't even released anything yet. So I get the skepticism, but there's a method to all of this, guys. The 767 and the 787, we're just working on the model. It has no impact whatsoever on the 757. For the 757, the majority of the work that's left on it is the systems programming, and I have my systems developers that are focusing all their attention on the 757, right? Now, with the 767, we announced it because it shares a lot of systems with the 757. Of course, there's a lot of differences here and there that we're going to model in the systems. And with the 767, next month, we're going to start on the texturing of the virtual cockpit. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll show you some textured previews. But again, that has no impact whatsoever on the 757. It's being developed separately. With the 787, also another part of the strategy of announcing this at the expo is that we had several people that stepped forward offering their help, whether they're pilots or mechanics or they work on the 787 in some capacity. It's important to have these contacts when the time comes to reach out for help. We have lots of documentation on the 787, but at the end of the day, we're going to need people to help test this out. And this is one of the reasons we announced it. Okay, so I get that people are skeptical. I read some of these comments, but what these people need to understand, and I don't think they're getting it, maybe they're not listening to the videos or they don't believe me, I don't know what it is, but those two planes, the 76 and the 787, have no impact on the 757. And I want to reiterate what I said at the expo, that we believe this is going to be the best 757 created for any flight sim. And I get that's a bold statement to make for a company that hasn't released anything, but people will see that we mean business when we release the 757. We're not messing around, guys. We also get compared to a 757 from X-Plane, and I'll say this, we firmly believe we're going to have a better product in every single way than that 757. And I'm not saying this to bash X-Plane by any means. I want to make sure I'm clear on this, because as a developer, it's as a flight sim enthusiast and as a developer, it's important that we support all flight simulator platforms. And in the long term, we would love to be able to develop for X-Plane one day. It's one of our long-term goals. It's not on our list right now. We have so many other things to work on. And then finally, with regards to the release date, so next month I'll be able to say if we can make the end of the year or not. I will not hesitate to push this back into 2025. For us, it's important that we get this right versus trying to meet some self-imposed deadline, guys. In terms of what's left on the project, the majority of the work is the systems. Now, we're still working on parts of the exterior model, the virtual cabin, of course, the sounds, but the majority of the work is on the systems. The flight management system alone is tens of thousands of lines of code. Something like VNAV is not a trivial calculation. It takes a lot of work and testing. At some point, we'll make a video just on the flight management system to go through all the features. But we're working 7 days a week. We're putting our heart and soul into this. I personally have a lot invested into this company. It means a lot to me, and I'll share a personal story next year at the expo. I don't want to talk about it at this point. But for us, I cannot emphasize enough that this, as our first project, we want to make sure we get this right. Okay, finally, now let's show the exterior lighting. We spent a lot of time just doing some revisions on the lighting. The biggest feature you'll notice here is the shadows on the lights, the casting of the shadows from the engines and the landing gear. That took us quite a bit of work to do. It's very tedious, but in the end, it proved to be worth it because it just increases the immersion when viewing the plane from the outside. And also in a previous screenshot, I showed the main landing gear, guys, kind of showing the detail. We're really going all out on the landing gear, specifically for FS 2024. If you have that walk around feature, we want to make sure that the exterior plane of the plane is ready, even though this plane is going to be for FS 2020. That's what we're focusing on. But I hope you guys like the exterior lights. It's 95% there. There's just still a couple of tweaks that I have to do, but it's pretty much there. I spent a lot of time to make sure it looks I think as accurate as it can look, and it's really, in my opinion, one of the best night lighting in the sim. Okay, so that's it in terms of this video. Part 2 will cover the sounds. Boris is doing a great job. In 1 or 2 weeks, we'll post that video. Really excited to showcase that to you guys. You also, if you noticed, I mentioned the expo earlier in the video. So we are planning on being at the FS Expo in Rhode Island next year. Really looking forward to it. They actually posted an update if you're looking to get a hotel room, and they're not paying me to say this or anything, guys, but I really had a great experience. I want to give them a plug here. If you guys want to book a hotel, I know personally New England is expensive. They're giving a very good rate on hotels if you're interested in going. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. So I can't wait. That's it, guys. I really appreciate. I want to say this again. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot for all the support that we've been getting. We're going to get this plane out eventually, I promise. I know it's been a long time, but we really want to make sure we get this right. And it's we're getting there. If I had to make a very bad analogy that just popped in my mind, I see a very faint light at the end of the tunnel in terms of beta testing. And beta testing is really going to be a big indication of when when we're getting closer to release. So we're getting there, guys. Still lots of work, but we're working every day on this, putting our heart and soul. Until next time, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you later.